Right, Barclays Bank and China M&A. Today's top picks from Reuters Breakingviews. Barclays shares languishing behind peers, but there's opportunity here, says the team. And China Inc. is not letting politics hold back its global ambitions. With me is Chris Hughes. You've got a couple of pieces on Barclays, Chris. The first one by Robert Cole comes with a calculator. And what is the opportunity? This is not just about a cheap stock worth buying now, is it?
Well, I mean, look, Barclays is on its knees almost. It doesn't really have any clear leadership at the moment. We don't know who the new CEO or chairman's going to be.
And this is the other piece, of course, yeah.
And
this vacuum.
Well, there's clearly a big problem. There's a big problem with the strategy. We don't know what that's going to be. But just imagine if Barclays became like any other bank, and in a way, you know, that's a good guess as to where it's going to head. It's going to have to probably shrink in investment banking. It's got a good retail franchise, so a repositioning towards the average is probably what new management want to do. And in that case, if it was valued like the average bank, you've got tremendous upside here. I mean, if they just became the average bank, trading on the average PE, or as we've done here, sort of a blend of the average PE or price to book, or dividend yield, which are the common ways that people might look at this stock. If it was your totally average stock based on those three valuation metrics, and you can obviously you can play with how much you want each factor to weigh in your share price, you're looking at some pretty substantial upside. You know, the discount implied on there, the discount of, we come crouch out at about 38%. Now look, is it going to get there overnight? No, but I think it's important. As you say, they are already getting on with it. We have this piece which is setting out things that they are already doing to the investment bank. So they're not waiting for the new management to get in. They're already reviewing the investment bank and saying, okay, look, does this business, does it have reputational risk? Is it covering its cost of capital? Yeah. You know, if it's acceptable, we'll keep that. Hang on, this one, okay, it's covering its cost of capital, but we don't like the area. It's too risky.
And this is going to take 3 months, you say?
This review. Well, who knows how? That may be what's slated for, but who knows how long it'll actually go on for, and where it will lead. But I mean, I think it's telling that the existing management in Barclays, they're not waiting for a new CEO to start a review. They can already see that you know that this crisis the bank is in is a good catalyst for getting on with some good operational housekeeping.
Okay, no doubt we'll talk about that again. China Inc. not letting politics get in the way of M&A. This is on the back of this $15 billion offer for Nexon. But there's a bigger story here, do you think?
Yeah, well, we thought that maybe there'd be a bit of a lull in Chinese outbound M&A because there's a sort of changing of the guard, if you like, in the Chinese political leadership. And so you think if you're an ambitious executive of a state-run enterprise, you might think, well, look, I'm just going to park that deal for a bit until I know who's going to be, you know, at the end of the telephone and whether they're really going to approve it. And yet, what you see is this enormous bid for Nexon, which kind of shows that in some areas, so you know, in the really critical kind of resources and energy areas, you know, maybe actually the feeling is, hey, look, this is gonna fly. Whoever's in charge, we need resources. We need to grab these assets. You know, the equity market is clearly a bit trouble right now. Maybe it's a good time to pounce, and they're not waiting. So it's from the context of the impending changes in the Chinese Politburo, if you like, it's a telling move. Okay, good, Chris. Many thanks. You can find both those stories, of course, on the Breakingviews website. For more insight, watch our US Breakingviews show every day, 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 BST. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.